Hello, everybody, and welcome to a very special edition of the Cerebral Smack Talk live on YouTube.com. It is your girl MF Michael Fletcher alongside Anthony Florio, Dee Woodson, and Michael Bullock on a very special Wednesday night edition. We're going to be talking about Smackdown Live. I do have a Mikey's Mindset for you guys here tonight. We're just going to dive right in. As you guys know, as for mention from on Ridiculously Raw on Monday night, change has come to WWE. Basically, we started the show off with Shane McMahon mentioning about the events that happened on Monday Night Raw, and thus the SmackDown locker room booed Monday Night Raw. Just hearing the word of Raw triggered them like no belief. And quite frankly, I was in the Bluebirds as well. I was booing when I heard the words Monday Night Raw, so I was with them. Well, Shane McMahon says we're ushering in a new start, a fresh start to SmackDown Live, giving more opportunities. That they owe it to themselves to create the fans the best possible product that they said. And from there on forward, as many of you guys know, Triple H, Stephanie, Vince, and Shane will be running the show together as a foursome. Therefore, unfortunately, that meant we would have to say goodbye to Paige as the general manager of SmackDown Live. She has been relieved of her duties. However, she's not going anywhere. She's not fired from WWE. And as a matter of fact, Shane McMahon also elaborated a little bit, saying that she's going to be a part of a new role on SmackDown Live. Now, what does that mean? What will that in turn? We do not know. Rumors have been swirling around that maybe she could be like an Alexa Bliss running the women's division. Maybe she might be a manager of a stable sometime down the line. Maybe Absolution reunites. We don't know. One thing we did know for sure, or we know that's certainty, she will not be back in the ring anytime soon. According to Paige and her Instagram, she even said that if one thing goes wrong with her neck, she could be paralyzed. It could be an edge situation. Therefore, they do not want her back in the ring, so don't expect her to be back in the ring anytime soon. One other possibility is she might be on the kickoff panel for WWE pay-per-views. Now, will she be there all the time? Most likely not, but we'll wait and see what happens with Paige. So, once we get back into the arena, as we get into the Safe Mart Arena in Fresno, California, we start the show off with Becky Lynch. And she talked about, that, look, I'm not a corporate girl. You know me. I rather settle my things out here in the ring with all you guys. And I got a bone to pick with that bitch, Ronda Rousey. And yes, this is not PG. It's TV-14. So language will be a little bit in here tonight. No F-bombs, but I will tolerate a little bit of some language. But Ronda Rousey cost Becky Lynch and Charlotte Flair in the TLC fight, pushing them off the ladder that gave the opportunity for Asuka to realize her dream and win the SmackDown Women's title. Hey, no qualms whatsoever. I'm happy that Asuka won the title. She deserves it. She's busted her ass. She is a great representation for what SmackDown Live is all about. Now Becky Lynch is like, well, now that I lost my belt, that's fine. But Ronnie, you started a fight that you're not going to be able to finish. Because when I fought you, when I dealt with you, I went you face to face, eye to eye, one on one. I manned up and I took you down on Monday Night Raw leading into the Survivor Series. What you did was a crap move. You basically ran into the ring, pushed me off a ladder when I was about maybe 10, 15 feet high, trying to get my belt, and you cost me my title. Payback is gonna be a you know what. Well, that brought out Charlotte Flair. Now Charlotte's like, hey, I'm not done with Ronda Rousey either. You know, she cost. I just did very well had a legit gripe to win the title, and I had an opportunity to walk out of here with the championship. So hey, give me the opportunity at Ronda Rousey. Becky, you go to the back of the line. You're second in command. I'm the one that deserves the shot. I got unfinished business with Ronda Rousey. Well, next thing we know, here comes the SmackDown Women's Champion, Asuka, to interrupt and basically say, hey, forget about Ronda Rousey. Yo, I'm the champion now. I'm the one. I'm the face that runs the place. Becky and Charlotte started bickering, saying, "Hey, you ain't no champion. You're a paper champion. As a matter of fact, you should cut that belt in half and hand half that belt to Ronda Rousey, because if it wasn't for Ronda, you wouldn't be champion right now." So there's the three ladies all in the ring, basically having a little squawk fest. Next thing we know, no chance in hell. Vincent Kennedy McMahon shows up in the building. He wasn't even announced. Like, we knew he was going to be on Raw. Nobody told us he was going to be on SmackDown. That was a total blindside hit. We did not expect the chairman of the board to be in the building. Hey, pleasant surprise. Hey, I don't mind seeing Vince on SmackDown Live. As a matter of fact, this is the first time he was there since SmackDown 1000 during the little dance down that he was doing. But, you know, he's like, you know what? I got to say something. And he's like, first off, happy holidays to all you people out there. Congratulations, Asuka, for winning the title. And Becky and Charlotte, hey, you know what? What are you two doing? This is conduct that's unbecoming. I mean, you guys are making excuses of all things. TLC is no DQ, no count out, anything goes. Basically, Ronda Rousey came up perfectly within rules and knocked you off the ladder. If I was you two, I would go over there and I would confront her. Don't make any excuses. You want to do something, you do it. We're not going to stop you. Huh. Really, Vince? It's like that, huh? Why do I got a feeling two beautiful SmackDown women might be invading Monday Night Raw very, very soon? Ronda, you might want to watch your back, because the tea will be flying, if you know what I mean. Mike Bullock, you already know. The tea fingers up, and I'm ready to drink. So, nothing more to say. This was a red hot start for SmackDown Live. Now, I know everybody's saying, why does SmackDown need the reset? We're perfectly fine. Raw needed it. SmackDown doesn't. Well, they want to be fair. Fair enough. This was a red hot start. I think everybody was awesome in this one. Anthony Floyo, come on in. Give me your thoughts.
You were booing Raw. Somebody's still bitter about Survivor Series. That's all there is to say on that. But nonetheless, yes, you're absolutely right, MF. I mean, you've heard of the old expression, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. You're 100% exactly right. Monday Night Raw clearly needed the change. SmackDown Live, you could have left that as it was. I've heard another rumor about what Paige could do in the future. There was even a report suggesting that she could end up being on the announce team. She can end up doing commentary. I mean, that's another one that just came across my my wire here. So who knows? Could she be replacing Byron Saxton possibly? I would be for that. I know for damn well Corey Graves would be down with that. So we'll wait and see as time progresses. But for right
I
now,
even be down with that too.
yeah, absolutely. I mean, a lot of people not happy about Paige, being demoted, but I've read a lot of dirt sheets, a lot of articles, and a lot of the comments I read. A lot of people were not happy about what happened to Paige. They call Paige the best authority figure in WWE today. So that's all there is to say on that. Now, as far as this segment goes, MF is absolutely right. In terms of just this opening segment, this was a very solid one that featured a lot in a relatively short amount of time. And that was something. I mean, Becky and Charlotte's performances weren't particularly memorable. And then Vinnie Mac essentially punked them both out for, whining and complaining afterward. And I'm also interested to see what Vince meant by Charlotte and Becky taking out their frustrations on Ronda Rousey, however. Was he encouraging them to switch shows? Hey, I'll take them both on Monday Night Raw. That would be a double detriment to SmackDown Live. I would be thrilled not only to have the Queen back home where she belongs, but I wouldn't mind having the man on there either and really sticking it to MF. I mean, MF would probably be going on one of those Gorilla Monsoon babyface tirades he used to go on whenever the heels would get the upper hand. We'll have to hold him back if that ever happens. Hate to break it to you, big boy, but I think it's going to happen. And because there's been a lot of rumors saying that at WrestleMania 35, we could see Ronda Rousey against both Becky Lynch and Charlotte Flair in a triple threat match. And if that happens, one or both of them would have to go to, maybe both of them would have to go to Monday Night Raw. Becky and Charlotte right now, to me, are the two odds-on favorites to win the Women's Royal Rumble. I was leaning towards Becky to win it, but now I'm starting to think maybe Charlotte. I mean, I don't know. We'll have to wait and see. But nonetheless, like I said, long story short, solid segment. A lot was featured in a relatively short amount of time. I mean, not sure why they put Vinnie Mac out there with them, but, hey, at least it was fresh. I mean, that's all there is to say on that. So really nothing more to say on this. So Michael Bullock, come on in. Your thoughts on all this?
Yeah, I mean, this was a solid way to start off SmackDown Live. I mean, nobody expected Mr. McMahon to come out and, especially after when you had these three women, of course, especially, I mean, Becky and Charlotte going at it, saying, "Oh, if it weren't for Ronda Rousey, one of us would be the SmackDown Women's Champion." And Asuka basically saying, "Look, I'm the man now. I'm the champ." And then basically said, and just here comes Vinnie Mac and saying, "Look, I don't like you two making any excuses. If you want to do something about it, take it out on Ronda Rousey." And that's the thing. And he basically congratulated Asuka on winning the title, and basically said, "You know what? Do you he's saying that the two of them, neither one of them are going to be getting a rematch, because I heard something that rematch clauses are gone now." So, yeah. And then, of course, he asked Asuka if you want competition tonight. You know she's going to say yes. So, when, all right, you want the competition? Here's your opponent. And who was Asuka's opponent? Shall we say it was time to feel the glow? It was Naomi. We'll definitely get into the match in just a little bit. So, yeah, this was definitely a strong way to start off this edition of SmackDown Live, and I heard, I did see a post from Derek Ferrera saying, now why did Naomi deserve a shot at the title? What did she do to earn the opportunity?
Well,
Well,
again, you just made it very clear, Michael Bullock. No more rematches for the champion's prerogative is now out of play. So in that case, Becky, you go to the back of the line,
same
and
does Charlotte.
Charlotte, you lost. So technically, Ferreira, with that ruling, if this is apparently now the case, they both fell out. So obviously, next woman up.
And
I
this,
don't mind that.
I don't mind it either. And plus, it gives an opportunity for other women on the SmackDown roster to get a shot at the Empress of Tomorrow. So we'll definitely get into the match in just a little bit, but for right now, this was definitely a solid way to start it off. So, Dee Dee Woodson, I give it to you.
Yeah, this was a solid start for the show. Both with the segment backstage, reinforcing what happened on Raw, to the segment with the ladies in the ring. Because they did say yesterday, or not yesterday, Monday, that the four of them are running the show. So, chairman of the board, he comes out. So apparently, yesterday's show was run by Vinnie Mac and Shane McMahon, because you didn't see Stephanie or Triple H anywhere on the show. So, yeah, Vinnie Mac took care of business several times last night, and this just happened to have been one of them. And scolding the ladies and making a match for Asuka and Naomi. I mean, it was a very solid segment, very well done. Great way to start off SmackDown, and showing the new regime, as I guess we're going to call it. So, not much more I'm going to say about it. Fletch, take it.
Well, I was about to talk about Naomi and the whole 9 yards, and then Michael Bullock just literally jumped the gun on me. So, yes, Vince McMahon did make a ruling on this, saying, "Hey, who's gonna step up? Who wants to take an opportunity?" Naomi does come out and basically said, "Hey, you were Becky, you were the man, but now you're not. You're no longer the champion. And Charlotte, you lost." How many opportunities have you had at the title? You even admitted it, that if you would have won the title at TLC, that would have been your 8th reign as women's champion. No, sweetheart. It's my time now. So she wants an opportunity. She's like, I'm ready for Asuka. Vince McMahon's like, all right, it's all yours. You get the shot. So does Asuka successfully defend the title in her first title defense as SmackDown Women's Champion? Or does Naomi end Asuka's reign and become a 3-time champion? Well, the winner of the bout in 9 minutes and 32 seconds via submission, and still the SmackDown Women's Champion, the Empress of Tomorrow, Asuka, wins the match, successfully defends the title. Anthony Florio, it is all yours.
One of the fights of the night, absolutely. This was a physical battle with a lot of standout moments, but seeing the finishing sequence with Naomi scratching and clawing to escape Asuka's deadly submission holds was impressive. There were several great counters and unique pinfall attempts thrown in as well. But ultimately, Naomi could not avoid the Asuka lock, and she would eventually tap out. Very good match. It managed to get a fair amount of time to shine as well, which made it even better. The idea of new opportunities and fresh faces is taking over the WWE, so it was a pleasant sight to see Naomi get a title match. Asuka felt the glow last night, but she didn't feel it enough to drop her newly won SmackDown Women's Championship. And by the way, when Asuka won the title at TLC, I had MF on commentary channeling his inner JR by screaming, Asuka, Asuka, Asuka. Yeah. Just wanted to put that out there while I have you all here. But nonetheless, this was a fantastic match. One of the fights of the night. I would say second best fight of the night, if I'm going to be honest. I'm going to give this a solid 3.25 to 3.5 stars. This was an unbelievable match. There was one match that I thought was even better than this, believe it or not. So that's all I can say on it. So no surprise Asuka went over. You knew she would. I mean, that would not have made sense whatsoever to have her drop the title 2 days after winning it. So I don't know if she's going to hold it for the 520 plus days she held the NXT Women's Championship. I don't know if that's going to happen, but I just hope they give her a decent run with it. That's all I ask. So great way to start it. So nonetheless, second best fight of the night, 3.25 to 3.5 stars. Very well done. Nothing more to say. Michael Bolek, I mean, what a fantastic SmackDown Women's Championship match. More championship matches on TV, please.
Who knows? That could be part of the way the new regime does when it comes to both shows. But anyway, getting to this, I do agree. This was definitely one of the fights of the night. I'll give it about 3.5 stars as well. I mean, I was impressed by both of these women, and yeah, Naomi put in a great effort here, and definitely made desperate attempts to get out of that Asuka lock, but in the end, it just wasn't enough. So yeah, it wouldn't have made sense for Asuka to drop the belt after she had won it. So yeah, so more championship opportunities, especially on TV. I'd be down with that, and of course with more new challengers instead of the same ones that we've had, whether it was Becky or Charlotte. So now the question is, who would be the next member in the SmackDown Women's division to step up to the challenge? We'll just have to wait and see. But 3.5 stars, second best fight of the night. Dee Woodson, I mean, did this match really impress you?
Yeah, it did. I'm going to give it 3.25 stars. It was very well done, even with the two sitting outside watching. Of course, groaning because the fact that they weren't able to actually be in the match. I thought it was a very, very well done. Where they had a nice little show of respect that the camera didn't completely catch, but there was a show of respect there between Naomi and Asuka. So yeah, very well done match. Really enjoyed it. Hopefully, the new regime, not only will we see more title matches, but hopefully we won't let them go as long as we have lately on Raw with their Universal title champion that's never around. So hopefully we'll get to see more matches and less breaks in between certain matches. So not much more I'm going to say about it. Fletch, it's yours.
All right, we're gonna keep going, guys. We had a whole bunch of backstage stuff. The Miz basically was trying to get to Shane, ran into Vince. Oh boy, Miz had a bad night. Let's just say that. Then a backstage interview where Rusev announced that he got an opportunity. Well, we're gonna find out. Well, he gets an opportunity. He gets to fight Shinsuke Nakamura for the SmackDown for the United States Championship. But the thing is, it's next week. It's on Christmas night. So there's one match for you guys to look forward to. SmackDown Live title fight on Christmas night. Shinsuke Nakamura versus Rusev. U.S. title on the line. So that's for Christmas Day. On this episode of SmackDown Live, next thing we had was Jeff Hardy cutting a promo, obviously interrupted by Samoa Joe. Michael Bullock, it's all yours.
Yeah, I thought this was a fine segment. I mean, once again, Samoa Joe continuing to poke at Jeff Hardy, of course, about his drinking history and some of the bad things he's done in the past, which is what he calls it, an intervention. And Jeff Hardy, he admitted, hey, I did have a drinking problem. I have made some mistakes in the past, but I've learned from it. And you know what? I didn't expect an apology for you. And Samoa Joe basically tried to take a cheap shot. Well, let's let's just say Jeff Hardy got the best of him there. So yeah, obviously these two are going to meet in a match. Definitely could be on a future episode of SmackDown Live. But let's just say, Samoa Joe, you better be careful with Jeff Hardy, or you could be you could be you could fade away to classify themselves as obsolete. And let's just say you'll be deleted. So nothing more to say. I was fine with this. Nothing really special about it. So D.D. Woodson, I give it to you.
Yeah, it was a okay segment. I mean, Jeff did go there with Joe on the intervention. Pretty much telling him, "Hey, you're only doing this because you're jealous because you can't win anything. You've been here, on both shows. He's been here, and he has not won one title since he's been a part of the main roster." And so, yeah, he kind of went there on him. Good segment. Not the best, but it was a good segment. So, not much more I'm going to say about it. Fletch, cheers.
Solid, pretty good. I mean, you guys pretty much touched on it. Nothing more for me to say or add. Anthony Florio, go.
Yeah. Segment was good, but it was much too short and it needed to go on a little longer. Even with its shorter duration, it was a solid segment that helped out this feud in the long run with a pending match upcoming next week. MF, we got another match for Christmas night. In addition to Shinsuke Nakamura and Rusev for the United States Heavyweight Championship, we can now add Jeff Hardy and Samoa Joe to the list. Merry Christmas. Move on.
Well, unfortunately, for the first time tonight, and maybe for the only time tonight, we do have a cutout, as it was the winners of the Mixed Match Challenge 2018, The Truth, R-Truth, and Carmella. They won it. As many of you guys know, they did win the Mixed Match Challenge on Sunday night at TLC, as they vanquished Jinder Mahal and Alicia Fox representing Monday Night Raw. We'll take our SmackDown victories when we get them. They definitely come few and far in between. But SmackDown finally gets a big win in the Mixed Match Challenge. But they go up against a newly formed tag team just for one night only. I think this was kind of Vince McMahon's way of trying to punish The Miz as it relates to him, trying to get chummy or buddy with Shane O'Mac. But what a partner he had. Don't you think, Mr. Florio? It was none other than Mandy Rose, The Miz's partner. They win it in 2 minutes and 11 seconds. The Miz and Mandy Rose. Miz gets the skull-crushing finale. I'm not going to waste any more time on it, so we're just going to go right into the next thing. Next thing we had was the Usos coming out, cutting a promo, basically talking about, hey, we didn't win the tag team championship. Hey, we didn't get pinned either, so that's fine. Next thing you know, Carl Anderson and Luke Gallows comes out. The Good Brothers are back. Well, what about that, man? They've been going for 4 months, man. What the heck, guys? Welcome home. So they start, jaw-jacking and a whole bunch of stuff. They're like, you want to go? Let's dance. Get a referee in here. Let's fight. So we had the Good Brothers versus the Usos. The fight gets thrown out. Sanity showed up and jumped everybody. Everybody got jumped on this one. Next thing you know, the bar shows up and they get to pick the bones at the end. So you want to talk about tag team division, man. Things got very interesting in tag team division, to say the very least. Unfortunately, the fight ends in a no contest, so I leave this up to you guys on if you want to rate it or not. And I believe it goes to Dee Woodson. So, Dee, what do you say, my dear?
Well, for one, the correction is the bar came out first, but they didn't do anything until after Sanity interfered. Because they were standing on the ramp when Sanity came out and started attacking, which is what caused the no contest. So, but yeah, it was a good match until that there. But also, this gave us a chance to bring some of the tag teams back because the Good Brothers had a good point. We haven't seen them in months. We haven't really seen Sanity in months. We've basically been wrapped around, 3 tag teams? Now we finally are bringing the rest of our teams back up, which is what we need to do on SmackDown. We need to do that on Raw as well, bring back up some of these people we haven't seen in a while. And I think that's part of what our new lineup and stuff with the new authority is going to hopefully be doing, which we kind of saw last night in this match when we saw the Good Brothers actually go against the Usos. I'm going to go ahead and rate it because the match was really good, and the interfere was basically to reintroduce Sanity because they've been out for so long as well. So I'm going to go ahead and give it 2 3/4 just because the match was going really, really well. And I don't really have too big of an issue with the way this one ended, just because of the fact that, we're bringing these faces back in that we haven't seen in a while. So, pretty good match. Bringing people back, that's great. So, not much more I'm going to say about it. I toss it right back to you.
All right, and I totally agree with everything you just said there. 2 3/4 of a star, definitely no doubt about it. Solid match, not the best match in the world, but hey, it was good enough for what it was worth. And yes, it looks like SmackDown Live is jump-starting the tag team division. We already have the deepest, most amazing SmackDown talent out there, and maybe we get War Machinery. One of the guys kind of shot on Twitter saying we're coming to SmackDown. Yahoo! Well, wait a minute. You said the same thing on Monday Night Raw the next night, the night before, you idiot. So I don't know what the hell that means. War Machinery. We don't know. I'm thinking you're coming our way because there's already a monster team on Monday Night Raw called the AOP. They don't need another monster team down there. So I think you might be coming down our way to Team Blue. I hope. But we'll wait and see what happens there. But as many people know, there's a big shakeup coming up. New guys getting called up from NXT. At least 6 people or 6 talents have been announced. So, and we're just scratching the surface. I mean, there could be more. We don't know. So we'll wait and see what happens. Yeah, this was definitely a really good job. Solid things going on. Good match. Anthony Floyo, it's yours.
2 and 3. It's 2.5 to 2 3/4, maybe even 3. I probably would have given it 3, but I'm going to drop it here, peg here, because of what happened. Even though the DQ finish did make sense in a way. As expected, these teams put on a stellar show like 2 elite teams would expect to do. The finish would be anything but traditional, however, with the bar causing the distraction before Sanity got physically involved. And, they took out everyone in sight. They staked their claim in a much more emphatic way. They want to be included again, much like Gallows and Anderson, and this was a step in the right direction. As far as, the Good Brothers against the Usos, it was a very solid match that, despite the non-finish, was a big moment for the Blue Brands tag team division. So that's really all I can say on that. So I'm going to give this 2.5 to 2 3/4. I would have given it 3, but I gotta drop it a peg because of the finish. So Really nothing more to say. So, Bullock, your thoughts?
Yeah, I'll give it about 2 3/4 as well, and I'm definitely fine with the ending too, despite the with it being a no contest. But yeah, it definitely reintroduces like some of the teams we haven't seen in a while. Whether, like you said, it's like Sanity or even Gallus and Anderson. So yeah, what does this mean? We'll definitely have to find out somewhere down the line. So yeah, so I really got nothing more to say. So Fletch, I give it to you.
All right, and then we go into our main event of the evening. Started off with a promo by the WWE champion himself, the new Daniel Bryan, and boy was he on fire with this one. It was a history lesson with a little bit of psychology and a whole bunch of stuff that I know Anthony Florio would love. Like it was what you expected from Daniel Bryan lately. Then we get into a 2-for-1 because our main event of the evening was a tag team fight as the new Daniel Bryan and my man Andrade Cien Almas goes up against the phenomenal AJ Styles, and now no longer 205 Live property. He's now property of SmackDown Live. Mustafa Ali. He's now got officially called up to the main roster. He's now SmackDown Blue permanently. And ladies and gentlemen, when it was all said and done, the winners of the bout in 16 minutes and 39 seconds, it was Mustafa Ali and AJ Styles, because Mustafa Ali hit the 054 on the WWE champion. Oh, ho, 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 ho. Ladies and gentlemen, say hello to the new number one contender for the WWE title. Wow. 3.5 stars, fight of the night. This was unbelievable. Great match by everybody involved. This was a great way to close the show. As always, SmackDown Live just gives us these great battles. And now with the new regime, with the new look matches and everything coming up, I really feel good about the direction that SmackDown is going, even though it was already one of the bona fide shows of WWE stable, and they're getting better by the week. They're getting stronger by the week. Now that there's more emphasis by the fans and everything else, I'm very, very, very excited to see what the future may hold. And this is amazing. Mustafa Ali, the 054. If you haven't seen it live, we got to see it live. It is something else. It's amazing. Anthony Florio, you've got to see Mustafa Ali a lot on 205 Live, and you've always praised him, especially about that maneuver, the 054. You got to see it live and in living color, and he just pinned your boy, the WWE champion.
A lot to take away from this, MF, and you're absolutely right. I do know a lot about Mustafa Ali, me being the 205 Live expert here. He had a phenomenal year. I mean, he got to be a part of WrestleMania. He challenged for the Cruiserweight Championship. Of course, he did not win it. We all know Cedric Alexander did. And I was more than okay with that because he was the most deserving at that time. MF, I mean, you got to steal here, man. What a coup for SmackDown Live to get the heart and soul of 205 Live, Mustafa Ali on SmackDown Live. That is unbelievable. Kudos to you, man. I mean, that was a great move without a doubt. Before I get into the match, I mean, Daniel Bryan, the new Daniel Bryan, he did it again. He cut another incredible, scathing promo. I absolutely loved it. And a la Pee-wee's Playhouse, we get to do another secret word of the week. Yes, we do. Oh, yeah. 2 weeks ago, we all know the word was fickle. Last week, the word was ignorant. This week's secret word, shame. 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 Oh, that was freaking awesome. Oh. Yes, I'll be honest, there is still that part of me that's still a little stung, because how much I was with the S movement, especially Michael Bullock and Didi Whitson alongside me. But I'm slowly but surely starting to get over it now. I mean, the new Daniel Bryan just continues to cut it, man. I mean, that's all there is to say on that. He's cutting the Dijon on SmackDown Live when it comes to the heel side. Now, this got a pay-per-view amount of time, and it ultimately paid off with a very good result. Every individual in this match shined, and the action was particularly stout throughout. But to me, if I'm going to be honest, Mustafa Ali and Andrade Cien Almas really stole the show to a degree. Both of them are supremely gifted young talents, and they showed as much last night with a memorable showing alongside two future Hall of Famers. And it looked like Daniel Bryan and Andrade were in control for a moment, but then the cohesion between Styles and Ali paid off when Styles hit Almas with the phenomenal forearm. And then it was just in the nick of time for Ali to hit the new Daniel Bryan with the 054, resulting in pinning the WWE champion to get the win for his team. Monumental win for Ali, and I think it could lead to a much bigger opportunity in the near future. This was a huge turn of events in the midst of a very good match that should help launch the SmackDown career of the former heart and soul of 205 Live, and someone I kind of would have liked to have seen get a run with the Cruiserweight Championship in Mustafa Ali. But hey, if it means bigger opportunities for him, I'm for it. How big the opportunity? Well, honestly, I thought maybe they were going to book it for next week, but MF, I think it's championship committee time, and I'm not going to be the silent majority on this one. Usually I am, but in this case, I'm not going to be. Mustafa Ali, based on pinning the new Daniel Bryan last night, young man, you just earned yourself an opportunity. Whoop, there goes that word again. The word SmackDown Live has been known for, opportunity. You, my friend, my young friend, have just earned yourself an opportunity for the WWE Championship. When is it going to happen? If it's not going to go down on Christmas, and who knows, maybe it could be on SmackDown Live, maybe in the new year, maybe, I don't know. But in all honesty, let's play ball here. Let's put the cards on the table here. Another MF saying. Can you say Chase Field, Phoenix, Arizona, January 27th, 2019? Answer, yes. That's all I can say on that. If Mustafa Ali gets a title shot, which he should, do it on the grand stage of the Royal Rumble in front of a good 40 to 50,000. You do that, they'll tear the retractable roof off that sucker. That's all there is to say on that. So, McMahon family, you say you're going to listen to us? You say we're the authority? Well, I'm going to exercise my authority, even though I'm not a SmackDown guy. The new Daniel Bryan, Mustafa Ali, WWE Championship, Chase Field, Royal Rumble, book it, Michael Bullock, all yours. How do you follow that?
I don't know how you follow that, but what did you give the match? The main event?
Oh, I'm sorry. I got caught up in that excitement. Fight of the night, absolutely. I'm actually going to go a little bit higher. 3 3/4 to 4. Unbelievable.
Yeah, I'm going to give it about 3 3/4 to 4 stars, and definitely the fight of the night. I mean, great work by all four men here, and yeah, I mean, Mustafa Ali, now a member of the SmackDown Live roster. I mean, what a great first couple of weeks for Mustafa Ali. I mean, first he got to face the new Daniel Bryan in a non-title match, and then he pins the WWE champion with that finishing maneuver, the 054. I mean, if you guys haven't seen that move, you definitely got to check it out. It is very impressive. I mean, it would have been great to see him get a little run with the Cruiserweight title, but Nothing really hurt this guy. I mean, he had a big year this year, and it got even bigger with him pinning the champion. And I agree 100%. I mean, I think with him pinning the champ, I think he deserves a title opportunity. I think he deserves a shot at the WWE title. And like you said, with this new regime, if they're going to listen to us, they have to do it at the Royal Rumble. I mean, you put those two at the Royal Rumble and you give them the amount of time that I think should be given. I think this match will definitely steal the show, no doubt about it. When you got the technique of both of these men, and guys, I mean, we already talked about two matches going down next week with Rusev and Shinsuke Nakamura for the U.S. title, and Jeff Hardy and Samoa Joe. Well, we got another match that I think could definitely be the fight of the night. We got Mustafa Ali and Andrade Cien Almas. I mean, that match to me is definitely going to steal the show. I mean, with the high flying techniques of both of these men, it's going to be something worth watching on Christmas night. No doubt about it in my mind. So, 3 3/4 to 4 stars. Definitely the fight of the night. Dee Woodson, I give it to you.
Yeah, it's definitely the fight of the night. I do agree with the rating. It was a very well done match. Would love to see
exactly the same.
Been a hell of a ride. Ollie getting a chance at Daniel Bryan. So yeah, I'm not gonna say too much more. You guys kind of harped on most of it. So Fletch, it's yours.
All right, guys, it's time for the overall review. So Anthony Florio, come on in. You get to lead it off. Overall review of Smackdown Live. What you got?
Oh, this is tough. But you know what? I would say by a smidge, it was better than Raw. Smidge. Not a whole lot. I'm going to give this probably a solid maybe eight or so, maybe 8.5 at the most. I mean, everything on this show was really well done. I mean, everything came out great. There was only one thing that really sucked, and that was, of course, that unnecessary mixed tag team match, because that was terrible. But nonetheless, that main event was incredible. The new Daniel Bryan, the heel turn is doing absolute wonders for him right now. And, we got another new fun word out of him, shame. But, that's all there is to say there. Let me see. And then the tag team match was fine. It could have been better, but we had that DQ finish, so that ruined it. That women's title match was amazing. Two great workers in Asuka and Naomi. They shined. The opening segment, I mean, before Vinnie Mac got out there, it was really great. But, Vinnie Mac knocked it down a bit, because, Charlotte and Becky, they stood there in fear. I mean, Vinnie Mac put the fear of, I don't know if we could call it the fear of God or if he put the fear of Satan in them, but nonetheless, I mean, it was almost like a father scolding his children. That's what it was. So that was a little bit of a takeaway, but other than that, everything else was great. So I think I'm going to give it a solid 8. Solid 8. I think that's the best I can go. But nonetheless, but don't glow at MF. I mean, it wasn't what we've had on for the last several weeks, which was a runaway win. No, this was anything but a runaway win. Raw competed with you this week. Let's be realistic. So next week, I think SmackDown's I think it will be a dominant win, because from the spoilers I read, Raw looked like a throwaway show. SmackDown Live looked like a great show. So we'll see how it plays out on the TVs. When we have the time, after all the Christmas festivities are, by the wayside. So nothing more to say on this. It's a solid 8 for me. If I did it too high, too low, I apologize. I think that's the best I can go. So Michael Bullock, tough show to rate, but how would you do it?
Yeah, I'm gonna give it a. I agree. It was a solid 8. I mean, yeah, I mean that unnecessary mixed tag and that no contest thing with the tag team match really took away from it. But everything else I thought was good, and I do agree. I think SmackDown Live was just a smidget better than Monday Night Raw for this week. So yeah, so there's really nothing more to say. 8 out of 10. Dee Whitson, I give it to you.
Yeah, I'll agree. 8 out of 10. It was a very good show this week. Just the one low point. Yeah. It had a lot. We had SmackDown did have a run for its money, with Raw actually coming out to be pretty good. Out of the new faces promo that we had earlier in the night, there's a match I'd like to see that would come out of that, and that would be EC3 versus Daniel Bryan, because you have Daniel with all his save the world type stuff, and EC3 who's the polar opposite of that. So I would like to see that collide, that match kind of collide on SmackDown. So that would be one I'd like to see pop up on SmackDown. Nikki Cross has already been on SmackDown, so I don't see why we just don't put her on SmackDown. Heavy Machinery would be another good one for SmackDown, and then we can put the rest of them over on Raw. But of course, EC3 would flourish on either shows. But for me, that's what I'd like to see. I'd like to see Daniel Bryan versus EC3 somewhere down the road. So I think that would be a really good match. But yeah, there's not much bad to talk about on this show. It was a very good show, very newsworthy. Pretty much stuck to what we always expected out of SmackDown. So I'm not going to say too much more. I'll see you guys whenever the next show is. So good night, guys.
All right, good night, Dee. That basically will be not until after the New Year, Dee, because after this, we're on hiatus. So at least when it comes to the wrestling shows, actually no, the day after Christmas, I believe the 26th. Yeah, the 26th. Is our year-end review for wrestling. So we'll have our year-end rewards. So that'll be the next time we'll be all together for wrestling.
Yeah, and that'll be a first for me because I've never had to sit here and try to rate for a year. So.
Oh, don't worry. We normally what they'll do is the producers and Derek, they'll give us a list of people who will nominate for wrestler of the year, match of the year, anything like that, and then basically you just give us your opinion on who you think was the best in your mind.
All right. Well, that sounds a little bit easier than what I was expecting. So yeah, okay.
No, we got you.
I'll see you then.
All
Good
right,
night, guys.
bye, Didi. All right, so 8 out of 10 for me, no doubt about it. You're absolutely right. This was a great show. Monday Night Raw did do pretty good. They did do pretty good. I don't think there's nothing bad to say about that. But as far as anything else goes, no, this was solid for what it was worth. It was really nicely done by everybody involved, and that's really as good as you could have expected it if you're a WWE fan. So, yes, big victory for, not a big victory, but a nice victory for SmackDown Live. So, all right. So, okay. Couple of notes that needs to be addressed. Number one, next week, Christmas night is SmackDown Live. And here's the card. I'm not going to reveal spoilers. I'm just giving you the fight card. Just like Anthony Flair would normally do with his 205 Live or his Impact Wrestling. And what I've done in the past with Lucha Underground. But here's the card. It starts with Daniel Bryan as he was, I guess you could say this was a special R-Truth event. You know, he kind of commandeered Miz TV again. So R-Truth and Carmella, Daniel Bryan's there. Very interesting to say. 8-man tag team fight. It is Usos and the Good Brothers versus The Bar and Sanity. Michael Bullock kind of jumped the gun on me again, but Jeff Hardy and Samoa Joe, 1-on-1. Mustafa Ali and Andrade Cien Almas, 1-on-1. Miz TV with Shane McMahon as a special guest. And as you may know, we talked about it earlier, Rusev goes 1-on-1 with Shinsuke Nakamura for the United States title. That's all on Christmas night on Smackdown Live. Now, as far as the Mikey's mindset goes, we do got a couple of things that needs to be addressed. First off, this show that's coming up on Saturday night, it's called Who Are You People? Part 2. So, what we're going to have is on one part of the show, we're going to have is, again, Francesco Abruzzi going 1-on-1 with AJ Phoenix. This is the, I guess you could say, the what the F is this? Mom, it's that freaky cat again. It looks like grandma. So, yep. Sorry, guys. Kind of a Michael Rappaport joke with some cat that's got like bug eyes. If you've been watching that, you'll know why we said that. Next thing we had was the eggnog chugging contest. Oh my god. Yeah. I got nothing more to say about that. Peter Griffin going 1-on-1 with Homer Simpson. I don't know how the hell this happened. I don't know why this happened. This is not RWA related. I'm telling you right now. I think the Monkey Writers got into Pawtucket, Rhode Island, guys. I'm honestly going to say that. Then we got a 1-on-1 match. Nate Chris going 1-on-1 with T. Phoenix. Basically, Nate got a little pissed because supposedly T. Phoenix called him ugly. That was the wrong thing to do. Now Nate wants to get a piece of Big T. But T. Phoenix kind of was like, well, T. Phoenix's exact words was that you were ugly as bleep. Now, I'm not going to say what that bleep is. You could fill in the blank on that. That was his exact response. And yeah, fight on. And then, oh, I'm so mad I'm going to miss this. Chop Shop Idol. Yeah, believe it or not, they were going to do a singing competition. It's going down on Saturday night. I wish I would have known about this. I would have loved to have done this. This is, you guys know I love karaoke. I love performing. I love singing. This would have been right up my alley, guys. Why didn't you tell me about this? I would have loved to have been there. Unfortunately, I got to work, but dude, man, that sucks so bad. But, you know, it is what it is. I'm down with it. So, next thing we had, I want to cut a promo, whatever you want to talk about, when it comes to the future, or what I should say, when it comes to the SEF. Well, we had a show this past week. Well, it happened last night. Here are the official results. First off, we had was the SEF championship fight, as it was, triple threat match. Jade West versus Jason Stratus versus Simon Lee Nash. Jade West wins the match. Basically, after Simon and Jason kind of took each other out, Jade just basically went over, pinned Jason Stratus for the 1-2-3. Jade West wins the match. Then in our main event, where the Anarchy title was on the line. Jake Foss versus Cliff O'Crank versus the former champion, Chris Orton. When it was all said and done, the winner of the bout, and still the Anarchy World Champion, Jake Foss, the Phoenix, rises again, successfully defends the title, and carries on. What is that going to be? We'll have to wait and find out. But one thing's for sure, guys, this was an amazing show. So the next show will not happen until after the new year. So, guys, Christmas off, New Year's off. The next show is actually going to be, I believe it's going to be on, let's see, on Tuesday night, January 8th, 2019. That's the next edition of Anarchy, and more importantly, that will be the next time Cerebral Smack Talk will be on the air. That's right, Tuesday night, January 8th, guys. We're back, better than ever, stronger than ever, and until then, we got a lot coming up. So, as many of you guys know, this Friday, another edition of NFL Friday. Then we're not back until the day after Christmas, Wednesday night, December 26th, where we'll have our Wrestling Form year-end awards. Like we said, a number of awards will be up for grabs, and we will go from there. The next night, which is the Thursday night, as it will be the college football New Year's 6 games. We'll preview all the New Year's 6 games and the whole 9 yards. The 28th is the next edition of NFL Friday, which is the Week 16 schedule. Then we will have... that's Week 17. Sorry, I apologize. Then, of course, like we said, no show on New Year's Eve or New Year's Day. The Friday will be the wild card weekend, and on top of that, the prediction of the national championship game as well. Then Monday night, January 7th, is the return of Ridiculously Raw, and yes, there might be a chance we might be covering the college football national championship game. If the game is close enough, then we'll go from there. And then, of course, on Tuesday, January 8th, is Cerebral Smack Talk. Back at our usual time and date. Possibly, don't know yet. But until then, that will be that. So, for Anthony Florio, for Michael Bullock, for Dee Woodson, I am Michael Fletcher. Thank you so much for watching. Leave a comment at the bottom. Like the video. Share with all your friends on all social media platforms. Have a good night, everybody. And so long for now. Bye-bye.